And welcome in to the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening here. Before we get started, note from me here. Sorry, I screwed up on the intro there. That's my fault. Jackpot's texting me. Where the fuck are we?
We're running a professional operation over here.
Well, generally we are, but tonight I messed up, and that's on me. Sorry to keep you folks waiting. We're gonna try to
Don Knees over in the comment section says, "Where's Crockpot?" I don't know where Crockpot is, but Jackpot is right here.
Pigskin Pete wants a pick'em show, a pick'em update. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way right now. Oh, by the way, if you want to check this anytime, the standings are at robandkaleshow.com. All right, you can always go there and check it out. Very, very simple, okay? But since Pete asked, we will bring up the Rob and Kale Show site, and we will go to the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. By the way, in the first time in the history of the challenge, Jackpot, we had someone go 11 for 11. Wow. And that person would be Alan V. Troll Patrol. Went 11 for 11 in picks this week. That's a hell of a week, Jackpot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he cheated, but that's cool.
I don't know.
Congratulations to Alan V. Troll Patrol for that perfect score.
Some other guys that did good. Mike Muse had 10. Clemson Dillon had 10. Elijah Allen had 10. Gary Mills had 10. And yeah. And your name is on the website there if you are in the contest.
Lots of lucky folks yesterday.
There certainly were. If your name is not on there, let me know. Pigskin Pete, we have to check yours because I think maybe I missed putting yours in there. But either way, there is the updated standings. If you have any issues, let me know. ROSanders1979 at gmail.com. All right.
He will, and he'll fix it for you too. He put my score up there last night, and I had a game correct. It was marked incorrect, and I said, no, not so fast, my friend. He had it fixed almost before I could get it out of my typing fingers. This man is so fast.
Well, I try to make sure that this is correct, and I'm going to check Pigskin Pete's because I'm assuming that he entered. I'm going to check that now because that's bugging me. But
he was in there.
He says he forgot me. I'm checking the week 3 form right now. But Jackpot, it was a very, very interesting week. And I tell you what game shocked you the most?
Let me think here. There was a lot of crazy stuff that happened. I guess Alabama or not Alabama. Yeah, Texas going into Alabama and having their way with them. Alabama didn't play very well, and that is not that's not something you see happen to Alabama in Tuscaloosa very often. Is for them to not play well. If they lose, it's always on the road. I mean, they had a home winning streak. I mean, it was something kind of like Clemson had before it was. It was broken last year by Gamecocks, but they had a really long home winning streak. Alabama hadn't lost at home in several years.
Last time?
Did you know that I learned something from Uncle Lou, who did the what is he calls it? The Your Season is Over video. This is the first time Nick Saban lost at home by double digits ever. And we're not talking about just at Alabama as a head coach.
Well, I tell you what. Do you know the last team to beat Alabama by double digits at home?
Let me think. The last team to beat Alabama by double digits in Tuscaloosa?
Yes.
Trying to think back. Was it Tennessee?
It was South Carolina in 2004.
Oh, wow.
That's the last time they lost by double digits at home. was to South Carolina in 2004.
Wow. So that was the last Lou Holtz team.
Right. I figured that would be something that, as a Gamecock fan, you would appreciate.
Yeah. I mean, what was that Alabama team's record? 3-9. They had to be
Doesn't
terrible.
matter. You still went in there and beat that ass.
Who was their coach? Was that Mike Shula?
Yeah, it was Mike Shula.
Oh,
and you still beat that Alabama ass. So
that's awesome.
They still wear the damn A on the helmet. Or they took the Braves A and put a mullet on it. But yeah, congratulations on that. Anyway, jackpot. We've got that game was interesting. First of all, we have to thank Callaway's Bar and Grill for sponsoring the podcast and the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Let's go ahead and get our couple sponsors out of the way. You need to go to the Basement Bookie, basementbookie.substack.com. He is 3-0 on his picks that he gives right here on the show. You get 2 weeks free just by listening to the show. So go and check him out. It's basementbookie.substack.com for $5 American.
You say basementbookie.smokestack.com?
No, .substack.
Oh, Substack. What the fuck is that? What's a Substack?
It's a place where you can blog, which is what that is a bet blog.
What was the Basement Bookies pick this past week?
Under 59 on the Colorado-Nebraska game, and he nailed it. So, yeah. Okay. But he is perfect 3-0.
You know, I was complaining last night on the live stream. I placed several wagers, and I listened to I like to listen to it because I do give you some good information about the teams. It's called Every Game on the Board podcast. Some of you guys might have heard me talk about that before, and I usually watch it on Twitter. A guy named @DrewMartinBets is the one that facilitates it. He has 4 pickers that are handicappers in Las Vegas that then they pick every game on the board. So they divide them up into fourths. You know, one takes one set, and they'll go through, and then the last one will do the last games in the rotation order. And I placed a couple of wagers, not anything big, like $20 or whatever. It's on some stuff that that I'd learned from them. They're often wrong.
Yeah,
these people, they really are. I mean, they're not. They aren't the smartest ones in the out there, definitely. So, yeah. Don't know. Sometimes I'm telling you, I think sometimes, these picking games and all this, the more and more that you're able to watch, like throughout the week of last week's games, maybe the better you can be, because I mean, you just the eye test just tells you a lot. It really does.
It does.
Yeah, a lot of their shit, their trends, and this is other bullshit that they tell you. I mean, I don't know how many of them took Texas A&M. I mean, come on. I mean, anybody could. I knew that wasn't happening. And Texas A&M. I mean, I didn't think they would get worn out the way they did. That was pretty embarrassing. That, honestly, to be honest with you, that was probably more surprising to me, and then the Alabama loss, because they were playing a really quality team in Texas. So I'm not really surprised that they lost. I guess that one really was a surprise. Come on. I mean, they just got abused at Miami in front of no fans. I mean, it's just a dead atmosphere, and they got taken to the house. Also, I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about our friends at Tennessee. Right. What was it? 23-10. 28-10, I guess 30-13 is what it was. Excuse me. Austin Peay.
The Governors.
I mean,
don't disrespect the Governors.
It would be one thing if you were in the FCS, if you were playing North Dakota State. Austin Peay is not good. They're not a good FCS team. That's embarrassing. for Tennessee. That really shows me that they need to get their focus together for that game this Saturday. They definitely could lose. I mean, they're only a 4-point favorite from what I saw.
Well, and you watched Florida yesterday had no problem with McNeese. I think do you know where McNeese is? I don't want to piss off anybody from
It's
McNeese.
in Louisiana, I think. I think that's where Dusty Rhodes went for a year.
Okay, well, we're not going to disrespect where the American Dream went. But hey, here's the big thing with this.
Somebody answer down. It's either in Texas or Louisiana, one of the two.
Tennessee has not won in Florida since 2003.
Billy says, tell us how good Furman is. Well, they're the number 7 ranked team in FCS. What's Austin P ranked? What's Austin Poop?
Furman would double-digit Austin P. Please be
Furman,
quiet.
I will tell you, just looking at that game, I know we're not really ready to talk about it yet last night. Those guys, after I went back and rewatched a lot of the highlights of it, those kids were laying the damn lumber, man. They were flying around. I mean, they were hitting us in the mouth. I mean, and that's nothing that nothing that we could defend against. I mean, Spencer Rattler, he took off on a quarterback run there early in the game, and number 39, that Furman linebacker, I mean, he just about damn near pile drove his ass. I mean, he knocked the shit out of Spencer Rattler.
Dan with the super chat, he said, see you in Athens, jackpot, and he loves the show. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You won't see me. You'll see the team. I'll be here live streaming it, though.
He says, in my opinion, as a Tennessee fan, I'd rather go 7-5 with Nico and not seeing the same shit from Joe Milton than go 8-4 with this guy. He is not the guy.
I agree. He's not him.
Right. Well, and here's the thing. You had a guy last year in Hendon Hooker who was outstanding. And when I asked the question in the preseason, because everybody was talking about, Joe Milton this and Joe Milton that. And I mean, the guy was dating Taylor Swift, for God's sake. And it's like everybody thought that he was the absolute best thing ever. And I'm sitting there thinking, do you think that this guy is going to go and be as good as Hooker was last year? And no Tennessee fan would give me a realistic answer. In reality, he is not Hendon Hooker. And to think you're going to have that kind of an offense that Hendon Hooker put out there is comical. It's comical. So
our boy Mark Rogers over on I don't know what his show's called. He does a bunch of different little YouTube shows. The voice of college football, he calls himself. There's some misinformation out there earlier, I guess, to get some clicks. That he said that Michigan State had fired Mel Tucker. According to ESPN, right now their top headline is they have suspended Mel Tucker. He's not fired. So yeah. I mean, stop putting false information out there, creating falsehoods.
Well, see, and I'm
not real high on Mark Rogers anyway. He was supposed to have me on his show a couple of times 2 years ago. I waited around on him on a Saturday night to send me a link to get on there. He never did. So I was like, well, fuck it, right? And sometime during the next week, he apologized. He said his mom was sick, okay, and he sent me the link again. So he sent me the link again. The motherfucker didn't meet up with me or didn't get on there with me the next fucking Saturday night. And he sent another link, and I sent him something, and I was like, what's your deal? And he's like, sorry, I'm just extremely busy. I was like, well, I am too, motherfucker, and I ain't never going to be busy with your ass. I mean, really. So that's what Mark Rogers does, ladies and gentlemen. Right. That is 100% truth. From Jackpot's lips, because these lips have never told a lie.
Yeah, well, I don't know that. I do know there's a lot of people out there that put stuff out that they just put stuff out for clicks, and it's bullshit. It's bullshit. So Anyway, just be careful what you click on and what you think is good information, because there's a difference between giving opinion and being a journalist and putting out facts.
Yeah, I will agree with Plump Strawberry that he's boring.
Yeah.
B Swan 88 says the Gridiron Expert is a quality YouTuber. I like the Gridiron Expert. If any of y'all have ever seen him, that young man's been at it for like 6 or 7 years, doing content. He puts something out almost every day. So Gridiron Expert's a really good kid. He does some good work.
Go subscribe to the Gridiron Expert. All right. Anyway, jackpot. We talked about the basement bookie. I put the link in the chat there. Go and check it out. $5. You get 2 weeks free. Help you, win some money. Also, we have Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport, Fireside Chats with Uncle Jackpot. Jackpot, tell us a story, sir.
I'm looking something up on here right now. Can I come back to it in just a minute? I promise you I'll tell you the story. But Fireside Chats with Uncle Jackpot coming in just a few. Bow Hunting 101 has put out something that I believe to be bullshit, and I got to confirm it. So,
well, anyway, we'll come back to that. Thanks to Dennis for sponsoring the podcast. We appreciate him across the board. All right, Jackpot. So we talked a little bit about that. There's not much to put on the South Carolina win. They went out and did what they were supposed to do. Someone asked how many times Spencer Rattler got sacked last night. The answer would be 0.
Answer would be 0.
Yeah, they did have 7 tackles for loss, but he was not sacked last night. So there's that.
Okay, all right, real quick. Let me indulge Dennis Wilson here, real quick. Sorry, guys. It sucks to be a Gamecock. We can start the season 1-4. Thank God for Furman. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Truck Transport.
I'm sorry. I was on this other screen. I was having to look it up and see. Bow Hunting 101 over in the chat said that Austin Poop was ranked higher than Furman. I just went to the FCS coaches poll, and that was determined to be a lie. Austin P is nowhere in the top 25 of the FCS coaches poll, nor are they in the also receiving votes category below the coaches poll. So that has been proven to be bullshit. Austin P is not good.
Well, and here's the other thing too. Why, if you struggle against any FCS team, regardless of where they are, just let it go. There are people that saw the Tennessee thing yesterday and they're wondering about Joe Milton and all that. I don't know. We kind of knew coming in. We'll find out when they go to Florida. Not that Florida is any good. Not that Florida is any good at all, but Florida is their first real true test of the season. Virginia's a shithole. They lost to JMU yesterday.
And they had me too. They fucking pissed me off, dude. I had that game on my board, and I had JMU in the 6.5 points. And damn, I thought they were going to just lose outright. They came back. They ended up coming back and winning it by a point, I think it was. But yeah, terrible.
There's a reason that Virginia doesn't schedule JMU. That's because JMU would wax that ass normally. So, but Virginia is not very good. We'll find out how good Tennessee is when they go down to Florida this week. Even great teams that are from Tennessee went down there. They haven't won there in 20 years. Your son's 20, right?
He's 22.
Okay, well, your son was running around as a toddler the last time that Tennessee won at Florida. So there's that.
Wow, that's a long ass time. God,
little Jackpot Jr. running around. Papa Jackpot. I need some chicken tenders or whatever it is that he was eating back then. That's the last time that Tennessee won at Florida. So we'll find out. Did you have anything you want to say about the South Carolina game? that you wanted to get?
Nothing. I wanted to address someone over in the comment section said that I acted like Furman was the New England Patriots. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I mean, be unhappy with a win? And I did not act like they were the New England Patriots. They are a good team. They're solid. They'll win that conference. And the only thing I was disappointed in with us was the slow start. I really wasn't that happy about that. We, let some, Furman got some yardage through the air. That first score was set up by the what was that? Was that a wide receiver pass? And that almost went for a score. East Carolina did that. They pulled that crap a couple of years ago against Carolina in that game up there that I went to. I think they did that. I think they ran that play on the first play of the game, and they scored a touchdown with it.
Right.
So people like to pick on South Carolina with that play. But I knew that, somebody had put in the comment section on one of my videos that when they saw them do that, they knew that Furman knew they didn't have the depth to really compete. So they're going to have to try to break out those kind of stops. And, yeah.
Well, in fairness, first of all, Coach Beamer said that last night in the press conference that we got to coach that play up better because they got us. He mentioned East Carolina getting them before. The other thing, too, is that Furman's coach came out and said, look, South Carolina did not recruit any of our players. He said that. And it's they went into it with the knowledge that they knew they didn't have the talent to compete. So, yeah, you're going to go out and you're going to run something that may catch them off guard. You may try for that onside kick, several different things. So, but no disrespect to Furman, but I mean, I think they're a good team. They're going to be in the FCS playoffs. I guarantee you that.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're very good. They're well coached. And like I said, man, they're physical. Kind of undersized, I guess, against a team like South Carolina, but they are very physical, especially on defense. There was some pads popping for sure.
Yeah.
I saw Spencer Rattler. I mean, he couldn't really play much better. I mean, what was he, 25 or 27? That's excellent. I mean, he has the highest QBR rating he's had since the Tennessee game last year. And then the freshman, Lenora Sellers, comes in. All he does is go 4 for 4. That touchdown that he threw, that was a nice touchdown pass.
Right.
Kid could end up. I mean, you never know. I mean, this kid, he stays healthy, and I hope and pray to God he doesn't hit the transfer portal and end up going somewhere else. But that guy, man, he could be playing on Sundays. He's huge. He's big too. He's a big-bodied kid, so hopefully he doesn't gain the wrong kind of weight or anything. But and he can run too. We got ourselves a young KJ Jefferson.
One of the other notes,
not the normal type of quarterback you usually get at South Carolina for sure.
So the other thing too with that was that Nick Harbor getting a touchdown catch. I mean, it really
did. That took me by surprise. I didn't even know he was in the game. He's kind of snuck in there and caught a touchdown.
But I mean, hey, he got in there and did his thing. And you're basically seeing the Gamecocks of the future,
Yep.
That's kind of the way that it is. So I thought that was interesting.
Omega Blake catching a touchdown pass last night. And the young man who caught the bomb from Sellers, God, I can't even remember what his name was. He's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I think he was like a preferred walk-on or something. He doesn't even have a star ranking or anything. He's a freshman. So he made a nice grab. Brought Lee with another good comment there that wouldn't start Mario Anderson. Tyshawn Russell was his name. Did you see Mario Anderson carrying the ball for South Carolina yesterday?
I did.
He looks different coming out of the box than what Dak Joyner does. He just looks more explosive. 6 carries for 32 yards really isn't a lot, but when you break it down, he had a 5.3 yards per carry average. And Dak was under 4. So
I wanted to throw this out there too. The SEC passing leader right now is A.J. Swan from Vanderbilt, but he's played 3 games.
He's played 3 games. He also played Hawaii. he played Hawaii too. And when you're and they were in a shootout game with Hawaii. So when you're doing that, I mean, you're trying to catch them back and forth. So your numbers are going to be a little bit elevated there. Plus, Hawaii doesn't play defense.
Right. So, in my opinion, the leading passer in the conference is Spencer Rattler. And it's at a point now where, you know, they're going to try to push these other guys. They're going to push Carson Becks and the Jackson Darts and all those guys. But Spencer Rattler is really making a name for himself behind, let's be honest, a shitty offensive line. And he doesn't have the receivers that these other guys have to throw the ball to or the running game to lean on.
No, I mean, it didn't look real shitty last night. I mean, they had 4 quarterback pressures and 37 attempts. So
yeah.
wasn't too shitty last night. I know, it wasn't the offensive line, wasn't the defensive line they played against the week before, but it was a confidence builder.
Yep, there's that. All right, well, moving on
for a little bit.
Yeah, well, here's the big thing with the Clemson game. Charleston Southern scored 14 points, and they had no yards. I think Dennis actually posted that. They had 0 yards of offense and had 14 points.
What did they do? Did they block a punt or something?
They got a pick 6.
Okay, I didn't watch any of that game. I don't know why I was. I had some other stuff on before the Gamecocks game, and what the heck was I watching?
I don't know.
I'm not sure which game I was watching.
Are you watching the Golden Girls?
I was watching, huh?
Were you watching the Golden Girls or what?
No, I was watching football, motherfucker. I don't know damn what Golden Girls. I was watching the Miami Hurricanes. I mean, the Golden Girls lived in Miami. I guess that counts. I was watching that game. I had that one on, and I was just flipping forth some other stuff. Because watching Vanderbilt and Wake Forest too. I was watching NC State and Notre Dame. All these games were weird in that they all ended up lasting till 5-6 o'clock because of the lightning delays. And so forth.
So I'm looking at there was, let's see here. They had a 1-yard TD run 8 minutes in, and then they had a 67-yard interception return. I'm trying to figure out what happened on that 1-yard run there. Look, it was in about, I'm checking it out right now, but the thing that got me though was that they had a fumble. Let's see here. Clemson had a fumble on 4th and 1 at the Clemson 29. Klubnik fumbles. It was recovered by Trayshawn Fowler. He returned it. They go one play for 1 yard on a TD run. So basically, Sweeney goes for it on 4th and 1 at the Clemson 29. Klubnik gets knocked in the teeth by Trayshawn Fowler from Charleston Southern. They run it back to the 1, and then they have the touchdown there. So there's
that sounds like a bunch of farting up when Cade Klubnik fumbled.
Yeah, he fumbled.
That's so shocking.
Yep, and then you also had the pick 6 that he threw there. So Klubnik is not looking good either. I was running my mouth about Milton. Klubnik hasn't been worth a shit either, to be completely honest.
What's your opinion of him? Is he him?
Well, I don't think that he's. Everybody was wanting him in so bad last year. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, they'd be much better off with DJ Uiagalelei. Because I don't know. I mean, I watched Uiagalelei hit cheerleaders in 3 games last year. And, I mean, just missing throws by a mile. So, yeah, I don't know. But Klubnik, from what we're told, is the best quarterback on the roster. But I don't know. I mean, at this juncture, with the way that we saw him play in the Duke game and then this game where, I mean, you give up you give the other team 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like Clemson, wouldn't you feel a little bit better about this win if Clemson wins 66-3? Think about it. They got a late field goal, but Clemson wins 66-3. People are starting to think, oh, well, the Duke game might have been maybe just the stars aligned for Duke or whatever. No, I mean, I felt worse about the way that the offense played in the first half of this game than they did the entire game for Duke. Just watching it back, because it was shithole U. It really was. Because Charleston Southern is terrible. I mean, if you look at Charleston Southern from the week before, no, and I mean, I'm not trying
They
to.
won the week before.
They did win the week before, but they won the week before against North Greenville 13-10. I'm not joking.
Don't be talking shit on North Greenville now.
They scored more points against Clemson than they did against North fucking Greenville. If you
I'm
don't
surprised
feel
Clemson hasn't tried to schedule them yet.
To North Greenville? Well.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be in a couple of years. Joe Agashi, legit leg kick, says at Carolina Jackpot, he says, Fat Robbie, do you miss DJ? The issue was Dabo should have simplified the offense, spelled wrong, or ran something in line with DJU's talents, as Oregon State is doing, and he's balling. Third round.
Okay, let me ask you something. I watched a good piece of your live stream last night. Why are you reading any of this shithead's comments? I don't read his comments anymore. He types all that shit. I don't read any of it. Not one fucking word of it. He is a clown. I don't read any of your stuff. You can call me whatever it is you want to call me.
Well,
I saw you last night running your mouth the jackpot last night, and I thought about typing you a nice little message there. I got nothing for you, dude. I don't read your comments. Nothing that you have over there, I read. You're rude as fuck to Jackpot on his live stream. I don't read your shit. So there you go. You can call me whatever you want to call me. Jackpot's doing a damn live show by himself, trying to be entertaining for people, and you're running your mouth at him like just some bullshit. Nah, man, I don't read your stuff.
Brock Lee has a very good point. War wounds. I survived leg cramps at the end of my live stream and hiccups all throughout the second half last night. It was rough.
God,
I was trying to scare myself into, it's like getting rid of the hiccups, and I couldn't do it. I mean, it would not go away.
Anyway.
However, we have Quentin Broom in the comment section who claims to be a medical doctor. Not sure if that's true or not, but did give me a tip for getting rid of the leg cramps, to lay on the floor and have someone take my leg and stretch it vertically. So I'm going to try that next time I have one. I get them often. I'm starting to try to drink more water during the day, to maybe hydrate myself a little better. Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Let's address Will Eubanks' comment. Mizzou and Kentucky squeaking out wet fart wins. Yeah, that was that was ugly. Especially Kentucky. Come on, the Colonels.
Yeah, the directional school from Kentucky. How do you have issues with them? Look, from what I've seen of Florida, Mizzou, and Kentucky, South Carolina is better than all three of those teams. And they're better than Vanderbilt, too.
I think so. Big Barney Ross said Mizzou was surprising. It really wasn't surprising to me. It really wasn't. They're known for putting up a stinker against a team that they shouldn't put a stinker up against. About every year they do it. And they won, I think it was 23-19 against Middle Tennessee. Brady Cook, not looking real good. Their running back, Schrader, the kid who was from a junior college or whatever. He's either a JUCO kid or he's from Division III. He rushed like 25 times yesterday for like 80-something yards. Like a 2.9 yard per carry average. That's horrible. Eli Drinkwitz is a moron too. Yes, I know. South Carolina's never beaten him. He's a dumbass.
He's a dumb. He's a dork. What is it? Big Bunny Ross calls him Dorkowitz. I think is
Dorkowitz. He's probably going to get fired after the season. Jimbo Fisher is probably going to be fired after the season also. And two.
Hey, nobody needs to block anybody over there.
Jay Sharp said that Auburn. Yes, Auburn won last night. I'm actually watching a replay of it. I think they won by a touchdown against Cal.
Mm-hmm.
Late.
Yep.
So they're really impressive. Let me tell you. I don't like Auburn very much, so I'm not going to give them a lot of credit. But they did win.
Anyway, there is a set there when I think South Carolina's better than all four of those teams. I really do. None of them have done anything that's impressive to me. So
Harry Legg said Cal missed 4 field goals.
Fuck out of here, really. Harry Legg.
Kentucky Durban says the Poyos are back on track after whipping up on that strong Furman team. Funny stuff. Prepare to get crushed.
By who?
Okay. By who?
Georgia.
Probably.
You're gonna send Eastern Kentucky down here to try to give South Carolina a game? They may play them tougher than you might. Just saying. Caden, and with a good comment here, says George is carrying the SEC. Well, Auburn's 2-0, right? Yeah, I mean
Auburn is 2-0.
Mississippi State's 2-0. Yeah, Georgia's 2-0. Tennessee's 2-0.
Yeah, I mean Tennessee's carrying them too, man. I mean, come on. Give them some. Mizzou's 2-0.
Big Barney Ross says the Colonels outranked us. That's funny.
Is Arkansas 2-0?
Oh yeah, they haven't lost anybody. Yeah. Someone said I was running my mouth about Clemson beating on Charleston Southern. Look, Clemson's got issues. I've said that since the Duke loss. There are issues.
Ole Miss is also undefeated too.
Yeah, Ole Miss got a good win against Tulane. I think winning that game was kind of a big deal. Why not?
Yeah, that game was a lot closer than that final score would indicate. If you just look at that, you're like, oh, okay, 37-20. Well, that kind of blew them out a little bit. Not really. They scored a late touchdown.
Yeah, it was a close game all the way through.
It was. Tulane didn't have quite enough speed or depth to keep up with Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Lack of depth.
All right. I want to give you guys an opportunity here to get involved with the show. I want more people to actually join the program. I think that that's something we should have more people calling in. So
yeah,
how about
let's get some different people also. So
yeah, let's get some more folks.
I'd like a little bit of a different perspective from time to time.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with the people who normally get in. I'm not just trying to discourage them from getting in either.
Feel free to join the program. So StreamYard link is there for you.
You know, I looked at the analytics last night after the live stream. That live stream had more views than any live stream that I've ever done. It's around 14,000 right now.
Right. It had more than the North Carolina game because you had a shit ton of people in there.
There was only 5,300 there. What I think happened, a lot of people, and I looked at the analytics, and there were a lot of people that watched for like 1 minute and then clicked off. I think that you had people thinking that I was actually showing the game, and they would click in there to try to watch. Because that was not one that was televised, but it wasn't, normal televised like what we normally are. You have to go to your ESPN Plus app and all that to see it. And that I was showing the game and on here, and I wasn't. So then they got right off. I had some nasty comments from people about not showing the game. I'm like, look,
right.
Look,
well, I think that had something to do with the whole Spectrum thing. There's a lot of people that didn't watch the game because they had Spectrum, and Spectrum said, fuck off, and their battle with Disney. So that's part of it.
I can't believe that has not been settled yet. I mean, they've got to be. I mean, especially with the NFL kicking off this weekend, your NFL is most of that is on regular broadcast channels. So I guess not. But dude, bro, there are some neighborhoods, like in the neighborhood I live in. I mean, you've got to have Spectrum internet. If you're going to have internet, it's Spectrum, because they're the ones that have the lines ran out here. I think that's the way that works. So, I mean, they could probably say, fuck it, and lose a whole bunch of subscribers and have people go to YouTube TV because they're still raking in God knows how much money off just the internet service.
Right. Yeah, what a mess. What a mess is all I can say on that.
It's a mess, and people switch to YouTube TV, but don't get lost in the fact that I think it was 2021. It was bowl season. Right as bowl season was kicking off, ESPN got in YouTube TV got in a pissing match with these Disney people too, and they took all those channels off for a few days until they reached some kind of agreement, and then they got back on there. But it's liable to happen anywhere, no matter what service you have.
All right, well, Jackpot, here are the games we picked. We have for next week. There's not a lot of great games, but here are the games we'll have for the Pick'em Challenge this week. South Carolina at Georgia, FAU at Clemson, Kansas State at Mizzou, Minnesota at North Carolina, Tennessee at Florida, BYU at Arkansas, Virginia Tech at Rutgers.
Woo!
We're only supposed to have one shitter, sir.
That's not a shitter. Rutgers is 2-0 in that, sir.
They're a fucking shitter. Louisville's
2-0. I mean, they blew out Temple and they blew out Northwestern. They're better than Clemson right now. Continue.
It's a shitter. Sorry. Louisville at Indiana. Explain that one.
That's a rivalry. Hey, that's Kentucky's rival. Louisville. Louisville's not scared to schedule more than one Power 5 team out of conference besides Kentucky. How about that?
Why don't we just do the over and under on how many times you're going to fart during the live stream? That might be a better pick 'em than these games are.
Rob, there's not a lot to choose from. Sir, this week is normally week 2 is normally really shitty. Week 3 is usually a little bit better. It's kind of in reverse this year.
I know. I'm picking at you. Louisville, Indiana, LSU at Mississippi State. Now, there is a decent game because, man, those LSU folks want to climb back on that horse. And Mississippi State, they're 2-0.
I think they do. Kentucky Durbin says Louisville has the weakest schedule in the U.S. of A. Okay. It's got you on it. That's why.
FSU at Boston College, who almost lost to Holy Cross.
Well, they're overrated, so I'm not surprised.
And the Kale Hall shitter is the Vandy at UNLV game.
Vandy gonna lose.
Just fuck my face with all that.
Michigan, UNLV held it within 28 against Michigan yesterday in the Big House. That was on CBS.
All right, so Billy has a good question. Explain the push. All right, so
push. That's what JR gives them wrestlers.
It's fucking push. No, a push in our challenge is if, let's say that Tennessee is playing Austin Peay and Tennessee is favored by 3 points and Tennessee wins by 3 points. If you select a push, then
you get it right.
You get it right. If you select a 3, they didn't cover the 3. Either way. So it's
then you get it wrong. Everybody gets it wrong, basically. That's what normally happens when we have a push.
I laughed because the wife picked a push last week and then came out this week and got 9 correct. I'm like, the woman got, she's watched. I bet Karen's watched maybe 3 downs of football this season. If we're lucky. Am I right about that? You watch what? Maybe 3 downs? She's watched 0 fucking football. Not 1 down. Okay? And she got 9 correct picks yesterday. 9 correct. And there's some of us fuckos that didn't do that damn good. She may be over there picking them out because of colors, and I don't know what she's choosing.
I was about to say, how's she making her picks? Oh, I like the
Hold on, let me ask her.
I like their mascot. Their mascot's cute.
Is it the educational facilities or what? I mean, I'm not being a smartass. How are you picking them?
Based off of like historically knowing which schools are typically better,
right?
Compared to how I've heard you guys talking about.
Okay. So she said she goes by schools that have historically been better and how listening to the show, how you and I have talked about them.
Okay. Well, see, I mean, listening to the show can improve your knowledge. So it's good to know.
Basically, she listened to the picks that we did and said, fuck that, I'm going with something else. That's why she got 9 and we didn't.
Blake Wright over in the comment section says, Jackpot, did you like what you saw from Sellers? No, man, he looked like trash. They better go stick with Luke Doty. Yes, I liked what I saw from him. Looked great, man. I mean, I haven't seen a backup come in and do that for us in a long time.
If I'm a Gamecock fan, I want Doty playing receiver because there were plays last night that, I mean, he looked really solid.
Yeah, he did.
Really solid. So he threw a block on one play. I was like, holy shit. I mean, he clocked some poor guy. And but it was what you want from your wide receiver when you want to throw a block. So yeah. Hold on, let's put the invite number up here because Sports Talk with Tom Bailey wants to join us.
Tom Bailey.
I think that
Beagle Bailey.
Beagle Bailey, yeah.
There's a link there in the chat, Tom. You just click the link to join.
Click the link up. No, but yeah, it's I thought Doty played well, so there's that.
Yeah, he definitely he's a baller.
All right, the StreamYard link is in the description there if you'd like to join the program this evening. Yeah, I mean, didn't really learn much about South Carolina last night. Didn't learn much about Clemson.
If you didn't watch the one video that I put up yesterday afternoon, I was complaining. I told you that I don't think North Carolina, we lost that game. We did have some Carolina fans trying to console me. Like, North Carolina's a whole lot better this year, and everybody thought they were going to be good, Jackpot. I mean, it's a good team right there. And they almost lost to Appalachian State yesterday. I knew there was something wrong with that line. I mean, I think I texted you about that earlier in the week, that how much North Carolina was favored over them by. And I was just like, it doesn't make any sense. But usually when you see a line like that doesn't make any sense, you should stay away from it because there's a reason why. North Carolina almost pissed the game away yesterday. And at the time I made the video, which was almost at the start of the fourth quarter, Appalachian State had given up 0 sacks to North Carolina. That is what concerns me going forward. Is an Appalachian State offensive line, which has to be undersized compared to the Gamecocks. I'm not sure. I don't know what App State's goes across the front there, but I'd say that they're probably giving up some poundage to the Gamecock offensive line. They give up 0 sacks to UNC. Piss poor.
Well, I think that also they were running different stuff there. They were getting the ball out of their quarterback's hands faster and stuff too. I'm not trying to, I mean, I still think South Carolina's got OL issues, but
they definitely do.
App State runs a lot quicker and they get, the quarterback's, the ball's out of his hand faster. And that can alleviate some of that. So, anyway, the link to get on the show is right there. The last night I was looking at some of the Alabama message boards after they lost. Man, they are wanting some Deion Sanders at Alabama.
No.
I'm just telling you what the fan base wants is what I've seen. They want Deion Sanders. They
used to want Dabo.
They used to want Dabo. I don't
think Dabo's as hot of a commodity as he was.
I don't think so either. But I also think that the hot coach right now is Deion Sanders. You think he wouldn't fly the coop at Colorado in a nanosecond if he could?
No, to go to Alabama.
To go to Alabama,
Absolutely.
or I think he'd go to Florida State. I mean, I'm talking about he could go to a real power where, you know, money and all that isn't really that big of a deal. Yeah. I mean, he would leave Colorado in a nanosecond. I really would.
Probably leave in the middle of the season. That's why I bought one of their T-shirts, man. I bought the "I'm ready to party like it's 1990" T-shirt, and I was wearing that during the live stream last night. I'm telling you, because I like him, and I'm not just a Deion Sanders fan. I like the philosophy. I like what he's doing. I like the different stuff. To me, he is to college football kind of what Stone Cold Steve Austin was to wrestling back in 1997 and 1998. Anti-establishment, or not that Deion's anti-establishment. He can't break the rules or whatever, but just, don't give a shit what anybody thinks. I'll tell it like it is. I'm gonna march to the beat of my own drummer, and by God, it's gonna work. And you're gonna end up liking me.
All right. Well,
Jesus. Did you agree with that?
Yeah. All right.
Vic Tube does make a good comment. He did burn a bridge. He burned a bridge with Florida State. He was kind of talking some mad shit there. I think he was kind of butthurt about Mike Norvell getting that job. I think he thought he should have gotten that job, and he made some kind of a crack about that he didn't get his degree from Florida State. He got his degree from an HBCU, so he really wasn't like a no something to that effect.
Never mind.
Tom Bailey joins us. Tom, what's up, buddy?
Oh, nothing much. Alabama fan here. Just kind of after the game last night. Last year, Jackpot kind of inspired me to do something after South Carolina didn't play well. What I'm doing now, until changes are made, I'm turning in my Alabama fan card and just going to watch the rest of the season as a college football fan until changes are made at the university.
Well, sir, respectfully, what changes do you want to be made?
Well, in the twilight years, I'm good friends with a Florida State booster. And in Bobby Bowden's twilight years, I said, "Man, why y'all trying to run Bowen off?" He said, "Well, sometimes you just got to take the keys from Grandpa." And I just think,
you really think that Nick Saban is Grandpa right now?
Oh yeah. He's washed up. I think he's got dementia. I think he's a lot like Joe Biden right now. Right now, we couldn't beat Coastal Carolina right now. What was that?
I'm not trying to be combative here. I'm just asking, do you really think that?
Do I really think that? Yeah, just after last night, our offensive line's garbage, our secondary's garbage. Busted, no pressure on the quarterback. We're not a good football team. We might be lucky to make the Birmingham Bowl this year.
Well, I don't think it's going to dip.
Well, at least most everybody can make the trip.
Yeah, that's good. We can save money, but things ain't looking too good for Alabama right now.
Well, but look, it's one game. You lost one game. Now look, and just to give you some perspective here, because when you really stop and look at it, you mentioned Florida State.
Yeah,
Bobby Bowden's last 6 seasons, he went 9-3, 8-5, 7-6, 7-6, 9-4, and 7-6. Nick Saban has gone. He's gone what? 11-2, 13-2, 13-0, 11-2, 14-1. This is
7-2.
not the same thing, sir. This is not the same thing. He's had double-digit wins every year since 2008. So you're not. It's the comparison to Bobby Bowden is not a very good one.
Also,
Well,
how long had it been since Bobby Bowden had won a national championship? When he retired finally.
99. He won it
at least
99.
10 years.
It was 99.
Yeah. Well, Nick Saban just won one, what, 2000? 2020?
2020, they won the national championship. So
3 years.
they lost in the national championship game in 2020. They went to the playoffs.
To UGA.
Yep. So it's just, the idea of, hey, Alabama is done after one game.
Yay, that means we get to stay home.
Well, I mean,
Coach Saban's earned more than, hey, we lost one game to Texas.
Hey, now we don't have to spend $1,000.
You didn't lose to a shit show. You lost to a top 5 team.
well, they are a top 5 team now, but I mean, if you go back and look at the game, I mean, the secondary, the quarterback play was awful. I mean,
Sir, it's one game.
I know it's one game, but I mean, if we don't get it corrected, it's going to be more than one loss if we don't get things corrected.
He's won double-digit games every year since 2008. I mean, I think he can have one bad game, for goodness sake.
I mean, things starting to slip. I mean, if we don't get it together, it's going to be bad.
Good luck with all that, sir. We'll see how that works out.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you, guys.
I think they'll come around this year.
I hope so.
You have a good night.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, there you go.
Have a good evening, Matt. Yeah.
DVD, what's up, buddy?
Hey, everybody. My name's Big Bama Boy. I'm a big Bama fan from way back. Got my new shirt on here. Just picked it up yesterday. I think, first of all, we need to fire Nick Saban because he ain't worth the fuck. I think we need to get Deion Sanders down here right by God now. And like Billy Cole said, so he can kick all the fucking white players off the team. And then, by God, we can get back to winning. By God, y'all boys have a good day. I appreciate
So that went a little different than I thought. But look, I disagree with Tom saying that Bama is done. Just because you lose that one game. What about? All right, the link is there. Thanks to what did he call himself? Jackpot?
Big Bama. Don't know.
I don't even know. I have no clue. But I don't think that you should fire Nick Saban because he lost one game. One game.
Yeah. I mean,
all right.
It's not like he lost to a shitter. Texas has been on the fringe for a while. I mean, they just have not been able to quite get over that hump. They've been kind of on the outside looking in for a while. And last night they kind of got over the hump a little bit. I mean, maybe they're finally legit. Quinn Ewers wins a big. Quinn Ewers was like 1-4 against ranked teams or something. And last night he finally got a big win over a ranked team. So,
look, here's the other thing too is that I've told you I checked out some of those Alabama message boards last night, and the people that were talking about Deion Sanders. Yeah, we need Deion Sanders here. And there were people that were actually writing things like he'll get along great with the black players is some of the stuff that was going on there. And I'm like,
man, I don't think there was has there even been any controversy about Nick Saban not getting along with the black players?
No, I mean, Nick Saban doesn't give a shit. Can you win? That's all Nick Saban cares about. You could have stripes. He didn't care. It's stupid. All right. Link to get on the show is in the bio here. If you would like to join the program. Yeah, so we got our games picked out for next week. It's not a very good schedule, but things pick up here not too long after that, because in addition to what is it, there's after this week's, I mean, could we call this the Kale Hall shitter week? Because there isn't very many good games.
There's really not, and you can kind of besmirch me for putting Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, in there because I wanted to. I like Rutgers, so there's that.
Well, the following week we got Florida State, Clemson, Texas, Baylor. Let's see here: Ole Miss, Alabama, Utah, UCLA, Colorado, and Oregon.
South Carolina, Mississippi State.
Yeah, Arkansas and LSU. Oregon State and Washington State. Got to have the Beeve, right, Jackpot?
Got to have the Beeve.
Oklahoma and Cincinnati. Those two teams will be ranked, I believe. They match up. Let's see here. And then Ohio State and Notre Dame. Also Iowa and Penn State. So, yeah, I mean, sit through this week and we'll see what happens. Lucius joins the program.
Colorado's going 100-0.
100-0. Okay.
Colorado's going 100-0. Coach Prime said so.
How the hell are we supposed to do a show when shit like that comes on? All right. Well, let's put the link out there one more time as we roll along here. But we do have some good games coming up after this week. And then, the season gets better and better. So there's that. Yeah, the link, by the way, someone asked about checking out the standings. Everything is on robandkaleshow.com. Just go ahead and check that out. If you
Big Vol Daddy
standings.
BVD said, where the hell did Lou get a Black Lives Matter shirt? At the Black Lives Matter Are Us store.
Yeah, they have a store for that, don't they?
Yep. Joe Higashi says, anyone else trying watching The Blind Side since the scandal, and it just feels gross. I don't know. I didn't mind the shot of old what's her face,
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, and that little white skirt that she had on there, trying to vending that thing. Didn't look too bad. Great actress. Great
Billy
job
asked,
in that movie.
when was the last time Clemson fell out of the AP?
I was
poll?
wondering that. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Let's see here.
2014, maybe.
Probably
not even then. Probably not even then, because they opened up the season with a win over Georgia.
No, it says
it's got to be back in like 2010.
No, I'm reading this. Let's see here. The Tigers were last out of the AP top 25 from weeks. That can't be right. I think it says 6 to 12 of the 2021 campaign. That's not right. It's got to be 2012. I would think, because 2021 they were ranked in 2021, right? I don't think they weren't. I mean, they were ranked in 2021. That was that was the year that was the year the offense kind of started sputtering a little bit, but they still won some. They didn't fall out. 2012 or 2012, you say? Yeah.
No, they would have been ranked then.
I'm checking it right now. I'm going to ClemsonSportsTalk.com because Lawton Swan will have something written up.
Well, I mean, look somewhere legitimate, Rob. Don't be going to some Clemson page, because they always be screwing stuff up.
Lawton Swan is a journalist, and he's my friend. So there you go.
I know I'm your friend too, and I screw things up too.
Hold on. Lawton says the last time Clemson was unranked in the AP poll was in October of 2021. So there's that. I'm looking back at the 2021 season now, because I'm like, what in the fuck? Because I don't remember. I mean, they were great in 2021.
They lost to NC State. Right. They lost to NC State that year, and they finished up 10-3. They were 6-2 in the ACC. They lost to Pitt. It was Pitt and NC State, right?
Yeah. I'm checking. I'm pulling up the whole schedule right now. So in October, so they opened the season. They lost.
You're right. I'm looking it up. I looked at it on Wikipedia right now. They were in October 25th. They were ranked 25th. They beat Boston College. The next week they dropped out, and they did not get ranked again. They were ranked again November 27th after a win over number 10 Wake Forest, 48-27 at Clemson. Then they played the Gamecocks in Williams-Brice. They came in ranked number 23 and beat the Gamecocks 30-0. And then they played Iowa State. So, yeah, that would be true. That's surprising to me. I didn't remember that. You'd think that I would. It's only been a couple years ago. Suffered for some short-term memory loss, I guess.
I think you should apologize to Lawton Swan.
Sorry, Lawton Swan. You're not a dumbass.
All right. Well, anything else you want to bring on up before we get out of here, Jackpot?
No. What were you? What games? What surprised you yesterday the most?
I think the biggest. I wasn't really as surprised about the Alabama game simply because Texas had the better quarterback, and I think Alabama's offense is going to get rolling eventually. I think that, and there are people that are talking about this, about, the SEC hasn't had a good start in as far as non-conference games, because you've got as far as winning against Power 5 teams, Auburn's got to win, Tennessee's got to win over a shitty Virginia team. And is there anyone else that I've missed, Jackpot, that has a win over a Power 5 team? Because I don't remember. I don't think there is any other.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, who did get?
Arizona.
Okay, well there you go. So they're your three. If I told you going into the season,
Auburn.
Yeah, I had Auburn and Tennessee, and then Mississippi State.
Right.
Yeah. Well, but the people that run their mouths about that and say, "Oh, well, the SEC has fallen off," you're not helping. It comes back down to this: support your team. Your conference really and truly doesn't mean anything. Georgia's the best team in the damn country. Just the way that it is. And people complain about their schedule, but Georgia can't play themselves. Simple as that. It's just crazy weird when you really stop and it's like, you look at it, and then here's the thing. You'll have all these teams that now they're going to go into conference play, and they're going to expect us to sit here and say, "Oh, well, because we played each other, we're so much better than everyone else." No, you're not. Your out of conference Power 5 wins suck ass right now. And, you folks that have the SEC lower back tattoo, let's calm down. Right now, you can't really say much about the whole SEC thing because it doesn't really work. Just support your team and go from there. That's the way that it should be. So
when you first started going on this little filibuster Kentucky Durban comment, this is the obligatory meaningless facts portion of the show.
Okay. I mean, if anybody else wants to come at me with that, then that's fine. Wesley says Clemson is trash. Can we talk about that? Yes, sir. If that makes you feel better. If that makes you feel better about the fact that you fucking almost were tied at the half with Austin P. Whatever you need to feel better. Whatever it is you need to make yourself feel better. That's whatever you want. It's pretty funny. But I mean, the folks that are running about their mouth about SEC this and SEC that, one of your best SEC teams got popped at home by Texas. Miami beat the holy fuck out of Texas A&M. I mean, we can go right up and on down the line. Florida went to Utah and lost. Their first game they played
We're
out of the
bad doing it too.
in non-conference game in like 32 years. What happens? They go there and they lose.
Yeah, the Gamecocks can't block anybody and get road raced by North Carolina.
Yeah. So, I don't know. When Auburn is your best non-conference win against the Power 5 team, against a team that missed 5 field goals or whatever it was, just stop. Just say, hey, my team's good.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
How do you miss? If you had Mitch Jeter, you wouldn't miss 5 field goals.
Yeah. Well,
He actually missed one last night against Furman. It hit the upright or something, I think. He missed. He's been almost perfect.
yeah, there you go with that. All right. Well, it's been a good show. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you get your picks in. I'll have the form up on Wednesday. Oh, jackpot. Early line on South Carolina, Georgia. Gamecocks are getting 24.5.
I thought that had been bet up a little bit to like 28.
Well, last night it was 24.5. I don't know what it's going to be for the challenge yet, but 24.5 is the first line I saw last night. So we'll see where it ends up. But hey, that's a shit ton of points.
It is. And I mean, North Carolina, I mean, Georgia really hasn't really been impressive this year. Let's just go on ahead and say it. I mean, I'm not like uber impressed or shaking in my boots. And I don't think that Shane Beamer and the boys are either. I think they're going to go down there and be focused. They weren't focused when they played UGA last year. It was terrible. And just from what I've seen of them so far this year, just from what I've seen of UGA, I think Spencer Rattler can stretch that field vertically against them. So we'll see.
I don't buy the whole thing. They weren't ready against UGA last year. I mean, how do you not get up for the defending national champion?
I don't know, but it looked like, I mean, they looked as punchless as Clemson did against Duke. Terrible.
Okay, terrific. All right, we'll end the show on that. Appreciate you guys checking us out. We'll see you later.